Railways have always had an air of romance about them. Something about the luxury, the scenery, and in the old days the strange beauty of steam just came together to make something special. In Japan, however, it seems that the railways are so romantic that some Japanese railways built their own passenger carriages with romance in mind. By the late 1920s, many Japanese railway companies were rethinking the seating arrangements of their passenger cars. Most seats in first and second class were individual single-person seats or had some form of armrest separating them, and the direction they were facing was usually fixed. As it was preferable for passengers to face the way the train was going, it meant carriages and railcars usually had to be turned around at stations. Because of this, some cars were designed to have two pairs of seats facing each other. This way, there were always seats facing the direction of travel while removing the need to turn carriages around at the end of the line. The problem, however, was that there were still some backwards-facing seats, and some passengers would have to sit facing one another, greatly reducing their privacy. Just adding more seats wouldn't work either, as much of Japan's railway network is narrow gauge, meaning there wasn't a lot of space to work with in the cars, necessitating that seating arrangements be as efficient as possible. A solution to this problem came from the Ministry of Railways, who began fitting second-class carriages with seating that had reversible backs. At the end of the line, railway staff could simply flip the backrest to change the direction the seats were facing, saving the need to turn the whole carriage around and giving people sitting together more privacy, while still allowing people the option of having four facing seats should a group of passengers wish to face one another. Because of how the adjustable backrests worked, however, armrests couldn't be fitted between the two seats, or at least they weren't fitted on second-class seats. In most countries, a two-person seat without an armrest between is known as a love seat, but in Japan they're known as romance seats. These adjustable romance seats proved to be quite popular and effective, so much so that it wasn't long before other railways across Japan began installing them in their own passenger stock. In 1927, the Keihan Electric Railway brought their 1550 series railcars into service, a key feature of which was that all of their seats were reversible romance seats, with the exception of a few near the door. It was Japan's first railcar fully fitted with reversible seats, and due to them primarily being two-person romance seats, Keihan decided to name these new railcars the Romancecars. These railcars were advertised as offering relaxed, comfortable rides at high speeds, and it's likely the name romance car only helped to reinforce that image of luxury. 2 years later, in 1929, the Nankai Railway introduced their 2001 series electric railcars, and like the Keihan, advertised them as romance cars due to their seating arrangement. Afterwards, the term romance car seemed to stick for railcars fitted primarily with romance seats, even if other kinds of seating were installed. After the Second World War, romance seats started to become much more popular in public spaces around Japan, such as coffee shops and cinemas. And as such, many railways started featuring the name romance car on more of their publicity material. Almost every railway heavily advertised their own high-end romance cars, with the term being so popular that when the Keihan Electric Railway introduced their 1800 series cars fitted with television screens, they were advertised as TV cars, being referred to as a romance car with TV. Some companies even classified a few of their express units as deluxe or super romance cars. The name, however, has been the source of some confusion outside of Japan. At an awards ceremony for the Edakyu 60,000 series, a company representative was asked if they were called romance cars due to the trains looking like they're kissing when two units are coupled together. The Odakyu Electric Railway was very fond of the term, featuring it much more heavily in posters and advertisements for their holiday and tourist services, going so far as to trademark the term romance car in 1991. It's likely that given the railway deals with a large amount of holiday traffic, having romance in the name of your rail service helps make it that little bit more appealing to tourists and holidaymakers. Other railways, meanwhile, moved on and slowly stopped using the term romance car as a selling point for their newer railcars and services, though many do still run romance units on various parts of their network. While maybe not as romantic in practice as their name suggests, the Romancecars of Japan are still interesting examples of passenger problem solving. So if ever you're in Japan and fancy a romantic train ride, you know where to go. Just don't expect to get flowers and a box of chocolates with your ticket. Subscribe for more.